All right, sports fans, it's episode number 3, and Louisville gets their first ACC victory over the Miami Hurricanes in relative easy form. And, of course, we're going to start out the show today with some big-time props here for my co-host, Mr. A.C. Cummings, who predicted exactly the right score, 31-13. Impressive, my friend, impressive.
Thank you.
I wonder, are you half Greek? I'm not sure how you pulled that one off, but that was good job. Good job.
I'm a little Greek, just the fat side.
You okay? Just the fat side.
I'm sorry to all you Greeks out there.
Yeah. No, you don't tend any malice. Anyway, bettors and bookies, you better pay attention and take note. You've been warned. My buddy here, 31-13, perfect. Yeah, call him. He takes 15, 20%, something like that. It's not too bad. So let's get right into it. We're going to recap U of L's game. First ACC victory in our history over the Miami Hurricanes, of course. We're 1-0 to start the 2014 campaign. I didn't give the D enough credit, AC, and I feel bad about that. Of course, I didn't want to make a prediction in the first place because I wasn't sure it was the first game of the season. I did anyway. I said 35-28. Guys, I'm really sorry because they weren't even close to scoring 28 points. We had a couple of turnovers deep in our own end zone. Gave them a few points there, but the defense looked super good. I won't make that same mistake this week coming up.
It's hard to predict. New defensive coordinator, new guys out there, new positions. Move from a 4-3 to a 3-4. So, I give you some slack on that one.
Thanks. I was a little worried about this show today. So, anyway, U of L did struggle on their opening drive. They seemed to be a little bit nervous. They snapped out of it on their second drive, going 93 yards and 12 plays, and scored a TD to actually a freshman tight end, Charles Stanberry, which was a little bit of surprise. I think we looked for Gerald Christian down there, but Charles stepped in there. He was wide open. Will Gardner hit him right in the numbers and secured the ball, touchdown number 1 of the season. So good job there, Charles.
I think Will was just trying to get that ball out of his hands as quick as possible.
I'm sure he was.
He did a great job.
Yeah, Will did an awesome job too. So we did let Miami take the lead with a turnover, and then our friend Corvin Lamb did his magic, ran the next kickoff return back 97 yards for a touchdown. That gave us 14 points, AC, which turned out to be enough points to win the game. We didn't have to score anymore. We didn't know at the time, but that made it 14-10. And Corvin Lamb is from Miami, so what do you think about that?
Can you imagine how excited he must be to score a touchdown like that on a team from his hometown? Everybody's back home looking. I guarantee you he was super pumped for that one.
He probably knew a lot of guys on the team, so good job, Corvin. We're real proud of you. I'm glad you're playing for Louisville. Louisville outscored Miami 17-3 in the second half. So, again, the defense stepped up, did a great job. First game, 31 points. I can live with that. I really like the fact that they only held Miami to 13. So, and then my key stat, I think, of the game, AC, was on defense especially. I'm going to give the defense a lot of credit today. Holding Miami to 1 of 13 on third down conversions.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, they did an excellent job.
Yeah. And, of course, if you guys remember, we'll rehash the Russell Athletic Bowl because they were 0 for 11 on third downs in the Russell Athletic Bowl. So combined last 2 games, they're 1 of 24 on third down conversions. And, of course, we pasted them 36-9 in the bowl game last year. That was another beatdown. And AC, I wore my Russell Athletic shirt here just to commemorate that game too, and give some props to the Russell Athletic for a great bowl game down there in Orlando, Florida.
It was only great because we won.
Well, it always makes it great when we win. AC, what was your key stat? Again, I gave mine up to the defense, holding 1 of 13 conversions. What do you think your key stat for the game was?
I want to give a shout out to all the receivers. Of course, I'm biased, being a former receiver. I mean, we spread the ball around a lot. Gerald Christian made a couple key catches. Eli Rogers made some catches. I think Quick has come into his own, no drops, and he caught some good balls. And he's just the speediest cat. So I think spreading the ball around, that's just one of the things that kind of stood out for me.
Yeah, I don't know who you're going to guard. And then, Dominic Brown rushed for 143 yards on the ground. And then you've got 6, 7 different receivers catching balls, but that's Bobby's offense. Who are you going to key on? And, again, we don't even have Devontae Parker, so he's gone for 6 weeks or so. Yeah. And speaking of that, we'll roll right into our general team update. I didn't hear of any injuries, no bad news. I'm saying all is good on the home front as far as we know.
Yep.
I expect Dyer to possibly maybe play a little bit this week. I'm not sure.
I would maybe look for him to hold him out maybe this week, so he doesn't aggravate any injuries. But you just never know. Maybe get him in there 5, 6, 7 plays and let him go. I'm sure he's ready to. I'm sure he's pumped to go right now.
Yep. And our next segment, one of my favorite segments, is the top dice player of the week. Top dice player of the week. I've got one on offense and one on defense. On offense, I'm going to go with Dominic Brown. Dominic did a super job running the football. Turned out 143 yards for us. Chewed up a lot of the clock in the fourth quarter. I mean, they couldn't stop the guy. 4th and 1. Anytime that Dominic touched the ball, he seemed to get positive yards. I thought he ran hard the whole night. Looked really good. Scored a touchdown. So Dominic Brown is definitely my offensive dice player of the week. AC, what about you?
I'm going to go with Gerald Christian. I mean, he got down in the middle of that defense. He made a couple key catches. And then again, he's going to share it with Corbin Lamb.
Oh, okay. The Miami boy.
I mean, I think that is what set the crowd over the top, that return. So, exciting crowd, good players. I mean, we're pumped right now.
Yeah, good. Defensive dice player of the week. I'm going to go with James Sample, the transfer from Washington. I thought did a great job. He was all over the field. He had 8 tackles. He had a big interception. He seemed to be everywhere. So James Sample was my defensive dice player of the week. The guy looked good. He plugged him right in, and he's doing super.
Yeah. Well, my defensive player, I want to say I'm going to stick with Sample a little bit, but I'm gonna put those linebackers. Our linebackers showed up. Yeah. I think I changed it a little bit. Our linebackers showed up, and they played the 3-4 defense like it's supposed to be played. And I'm going to give a shout out also to Charles Gaines, who is a true man out there, and I think Sample being on the other side. So we have 2 grown men at cornerback.
Yeah, Gaines loves to run his mouth, and actually I like when he runs his mouth. So anyway, he seems to get in the other teams' heads quite easily. So
and he gets the job done.
He does get the job done. That guy's really good. So he can back it up. He can talk the talk and walk the walk.
That's right.
Next, we're going to jump into some games around the country. We're going to call this segment our Paradise Picks. AC and I we pulled out 2 games. There's really not that many good games this week on the docket. So we pulled out 2 games. We're going to pick those games against the spread. We already did some predictions last show for the upcoming games this week. We're going to go with USC and Stanford. Stanford's favored by 2.5 points. Stanford's at home. AC, what you think?
I think USC's playing. So I honestly, USC is back, I believe. So I'm going to go with USC.
And I'm actually not going to disagree with that. I think USC is going to win that game. It should be. Stanford likes to play that smash mouth football, but I still think USC is going to win that game as well, even though it is at Stanford. And then the other one, Michigan State and Oregon. And I know we talked about this a little bit. Oregon's favored by 12 points, though. Yeah. That's a lot of points.
And they're playing at home.
They are playing at Eugene, and I do like the Ducks.
I grew up in Michigan.
I remember that. A little more of a Go Blue fan than a Go Green fan.
Yeah.
Sparty fan. So
I'm going to go with
12
Oregon.
points.
I'm going to go with Oregon. They're at home. They spread it out. Michigan State lost a few guys on defense from last year's Rose Bowl team. So, I hate to go against hometown, but Oregon.
And I do love the Ducks. They impressed me in week 1. But 12 points, just because it's against the spread, I'm gonna go with Michigan State. I think Michigan State's gonna slow it down. They're gonna run some smash mouth football. They're gonna try to run it down their throats and control the time, control the clock. So I'll stay with Michigan State on that one. So anyway, next thing is good luck. Obviously, U of L has a home game against Murray State, and I don't want to talk about Murray State a little bit, AC. They're kind of close to my heart. I'm a Paducah boy, Paducah, Kentucky boy. Murray State's down there. That's part of my old stomping grounds. So, I'm a little partial to the Racers. I went to my first college basketball game down there in Racer Arena and also saw my first rock concert down there. That'd be Night Ranger Also a racer arena.
If I know you, it's more like Power Rangers.
Yeah, no, it'd be Night Ranger. They were pretty good. I enjoyed it. Good times, great memories. However, they're coming to Papa John's Cardinal Stadium.
Yeah.
I'm a Louisville Cardinal now. I'm going to say Louisville's going to take care of business this week. I think Murray's going to find it a little bit harder to score this week than they did last week. I think Louisville's going to get their offense going. Defense already seems to be playing well, so I'm going to say 55-10 Louisville this week.
Well, I'm going to go. And
I'm all ears here. Everybody pay attention to this guy.
I'm going to go 56-14.
56-14. I got it written down, 56-14.
I think they'll score more than Miami did on us.
Okay. Oh, okay, Murray. Well, gauntlet's been thrown down, so we'll see if they can score a few more points than Miami did, which was 13 last week. So next we'll talk about, AC, I think you have a little special thing you want to do here.
Well, I got a couple tailgate shout-outs.
Tailgate shout-outs,
I
okay.
never tailgate because I get to the game so late, and I go right in and
I'm the same way.
hit my seats. So, but I stopped this. I want to get out there early this week because of traffic. So I stopped through and talked with a couple of buddies of mine, J.P. Cox and Tina Galt. They were in the Platinum lot, and they are big-time tailgaters. So you guys that get out there early, if former players, go over and see JP. Not this JP, but JP Cox.
Although this JP will not be there for this game this week. I'll be out of town. AC will be there covering for both of us. So, and we got a couple of questions. We want to get right to these questions real quick. And actually, our question number one was from Tina Gaunt of Pikeville, Kentucky. And Tina asks, where do we normally tailgate? I would love for you both to join us and bring some other Cardinals with you. So, actually, Tina, we're going to try to do that for you. Maybe we'll try to hook up with you in a week or so when I'm back in town. AC might even pop in there and see you this week. So, thanks for the question. Second question is from Davey Womack of Farmington, Missouri. Davey asks, after that beatdown they put on the Cards Monday night, what are your predictions now for U of L in the conference? Mine's not going to change a whole lot because, again, it's just the first game of the season. I'm not looking for U of L. I mean, we already had them predicted third. I mean, there's a couple spots they can go. Florida State wasn't very impressive, but, again, I'm not going to get caught up in all the hype just because it's week one. So we got a long season. You know, I still think realistically Louisville's going to finish second or third overall in the conference. They could surprise people. We'll see.
I usually don't get ahead of myself, but I'm gonna get there today. I'm gonna pick Louisville beating Florida State to play in a championship.
I think he's getting a little cocky, folks. Getting a little cocky after that dead-on prediction, but that's okay.
That's just what I feel.
Okay. Well, I'm JP.
And I'm AC.
This is Cardinal Pairadice. And that's how we roll.